Honored to have you guys join us from all across the country. People East Coast, West Coast, people up in Dallas, here in the Lone Star State, people all across the country. Got a few folks join us online as well. Live on YouTube, we are live streaming. So if you've got to step away from your laptop and run an errand too, you can always pull it up on the old tube by going to the WeCloseNotes.tv YouTube channel where we live stream most of the stuff here. We'll leave it up here for the day and then probably take it down tomorrow, but we do it as a extra bonus for our students so they can watch on there while they don't have to be sitting in front of their laptop. And we are monitoring questions on there too. So if that works for you, great. You can always subscribe to our YouTube channel by going to WeCloseNotes.tv. But anyway, guys and gals, we're glad to have you here this beautiful Saturday morning. March is hard to believe that the year is already about a quarter of the way complete, and just seeing a ton of opportunities coming across our plates. And as always, guys, I'm Scott Carson. I'm known across the country as the note guy. I've been buying distressed debt since 2007, working in the paper space, mortgage industry, well for over 20 years. Ex-financial advisor, ran a mortgage company for a few years, for about 5 years during the heyday, and been a full-time note investor since 2008. But honored to have you all here. Got some great stuff to go through, really helping you guys maybe dip your toes in the deep end of the note pool, see if this is something you enjoy. And if you want to continue your education in this class, we've got a great opportunity and offering for you at the end. So stick around. You will get the replays of this. You've hopefully already gotten the replays of the previous class that we taught, so you could learn a little bit. But got some great stuff to go through today. But as always, guys, we're honored to be the #1, that's correct, the #1 investor recommended training class for note investing. I mean, we close notes period. Our 1 day, our 3 day, our monthly membership, our one-on-one coaching is the shiznit. It is the creme de la creme. We help a ton of investors dive into the world of notes. And then what separates us is we actually show you how to go find them, how to fund them, and obviously all the different ways to make money with them. So as we kick off session 1 this morning, just a little bit of housekeeping rules. We will take a couple breaks. We'll take after each session, usually we'll take every 2 to 3 sessions, we'll probably take a quick couple-minute break to let you get up, stretch, get you a fresh cup of coffee or iced tea or water or a little something to nibble. We won't take a lunch break, except we will take about a 20-minute break, roughly about session number 7. And today we'll go, and we've had these things go anywhere till 1 o'clock, till 2 o'clock, till 4 o'clock. Just depends on the questions you ask and what we go through. We will save a little bit of time here at the end to kind of go through an initial tape. I've got a tape pulled up here that we'll go through and kind of give you an idea what to look at, what to expect. We'll talk about some vendors at the end, and it's really designed today, as I said, you're not going to learn everything about the note business, let alone in 1 day, let alone 3-day class. But this is an idea to help give you some of the basics to understand what it is when it comes to note investing. It's just not buying a property and owner financing or buying a note on terms or selling a property terms. That's a great aspect of note investing, but it's not what I focus on really. For the last 15 plus years, I've focused, one of the few folks that has focused on buying non-performing notes at big discounts to either A, work them out with a homeowner, or B, take it back in some sort and selling the asset off. If the borrower can't do one of 7 to 8 different things with us, then we've got several ways to liquidate that asset and monetize that. And of course, if you want, what you do with that asset once you take it back is completely up to you. Keep it in your portfolio, sell it off, whatever you want. It's your show at that point. What's great about note investing is a lot of great ways to accentuate, to add to your existing real estate business. Now, if you're a brand new real estate investor, that's okay. You don't have to have a lot of money in the note business. We will show you how we raise capital. I actually helped an investor yesterday from Minnesota, Minneapolis area, showed him how to find a couple thousand IRA investors, and he's already jacked up excited about that. So let's go through. So anyway, welcome to Note Weekend, guys. We want you to ask questions, but make sure your questions stay on point. There's a couple ways for you to ask questions. You can either ask it in the Zoom control panel. The chat is enabled, so you can type in questions in chat. Feel free to type in your name and where you're from this morning, or it should show up your name. But when you're typing a question, if you want to go just to me, make sure it's set to the hosts and panelists. If you want to go to everybody, make it to everybody. There'll be an opportunity for you to post your LinkedIn profile so you can network with other people that are going through this class at the same time. Of course, you can always go through the Q&A and type your questions there. But when you ask questions, let's keep them on point where we're at. There'll be plenty of time at the end to open up questions that maybe I didn't cover through the sessions, but these 14, 15 sessions all build on each other. And I've been doing this a long time. We've been teaching this one-day class now for about 3 years. And it's really been a really great little, like I say, Cliff Notes version to help people get started, okay? All sessions are recorded. I did hit the record button. And what we will do also to make it easier if you need to go back, we'll try to make sure that we stop the recording between each session so it's easier for you to go back in. And of course, the replays will be sent out by Monday to you so that you can go back and watch what you managed to catch a recap on. And of course, we always ask you to respect your fellow investors. If somebody asks a question or makes a comment that you don't agree with, that's great. It's totally fine. This is not everybody's right and then everybody else is wrong. You can have a different opinion. That's totally fine. I share my opinion. I'm a bit opinionated. I've been doing this for a long time, bought a lot of deals. I just ask you to treat people like you want to be treated. Okay. And we need to have more of that throughout the country. Investors are pretty good about seeing different viewpoints, which I love. But if you're unable to do that, then, if you get rude, I will basically boot you out and refund your money back. And we don't like rude people. And we encourage you to network with us and the others here. That's why we'll offer up the opportunity for you to throw up your LinkedIn profile. Feel free going into our some of the resources that we provided to you. I see some of you have already joined the Note Nation Facebook group, which is great. But feel free to ask Q&A questions, especially the Note Nation Facebook group. It's over 1,100 people, investors in there. Some are more active. It's a great place for you to ask questions, get questions answered. I use it as a resource specifically too to find people looking for deals. Of course, we've got a huge database of people all across the country. But for those of you that are looking at buying a note, you need some help. It's a great way for you to go look for people that are in a specific area and reach out to them. I know that one of our students, Jessica, really used it to find 8 or 9 people to help her with due diligence or look at some assets. Of course, LinkedIn, by going to one Scott Carson, follow me there. And of course, we'll leave some time at the end of the day for those who want to for you to come on live here. So if you've got a webcam or a microphone, prefer at least a microphone, we can bring you on and ask you some questions and share a little bit about your business and what your focus is on. Okay. Other resources, I always like to let you know that you are not alone. I think we provide more resources than anybody else that does out there. So the free resources, which are phenomenal for you, is we have our Note Nation Facebook group. Like I said, it's 1,100 members. Note Night in America webinars and the podcast. So like almost every Monday night we host, and for the last 13 years now, 12 to 13 years now, every Monday night at 7 p.m. Central, we've hosted NoteNightInAmerica.com. If you go to NoteNightInAmerica.com, it'll allow for you to register for all those. And we'll do a variety of different topics in the note business. Occasionally we'll have speakers on. Sometimes they will be offering up classes or products. And these are products or classes or stuff that I recommend. I don't recommend everything. If they're on here, it's something I've been through, I trust who that investor is and that they provide a really good job. I'm not one of these guys that's going to sell my soul for a buck. Okay. One of the biggest resources for you is our YouTube channel, WeCloseNotes.tv. I encourage you all to do that right now. You go into one of your browsers, open up your browsers, type in WeCloseNotes.tv. That'll take you to the YouTube channel and see a button pop up to subscribe. Go ahead and hit the subscribe button to that. That way you're alerted when we upload new podcasts, new videos, new training, when we live stream as well. And then always, you may want to save this somewhere else. This is my booking link to talk with me. If you go to talkwithscottcarson.com, that's my calendar link. I think almost all of you who are on here live have booked a call with me at some point, but say that, talkwithscottcarson.com. Talkwithscottcarson.com. That takes you straight to my calendar, and you can see what spots are available. If it's blocked out for a day, it's usually because I have something going on. If you can't get me on there, or you've got an urgent thing, you can always text me at my phone number, and I'll provide that out there. But also, some other resources for you guys. Next steps, we have our 3-day virtual note buying workshop that's coming up in April. You can get registered for that, notebuyingfordummies.com. And we have a very special offer for you guys that are on here today. We have our monthly membership. It's $97 a month. You go to noteumbrella.com. That gets you access to a lot of stuff. We'll talk about that later on. And then we have our mid-year convention coming up here in a few months, notecamp.live. And what's great, ladies and gentlemen, is our podcast too. If you listen to podcasts, yes, our YouTube channel is a great place. We share all our videos, but if you like listening to podcasts, check out the Note Night in America podcast, the Note Camp Live podcast, and of course our 50,000 megawatt blowtorch podcast, the Note Closer Show podcast. All three of them provide you such a wealth of knowledge and stuff for you to learn from. Okay. And then, of course, for some of you, you may be interested in our one-on-one coaching going forward, and we can talk about that later on. But we're not here to, this is not a pitch fest for the next few hours. This is content. And hopefully you got your notepad there, ready to take some notes. We've got some great stuff to go through to help you really take your business to the whole next level. Any questions, comments, concerns before we get started diving into most of the content there for you? And like I said, feel free to use the chat roll. Tell us where you're from, where you join us from this morning. So we've got folks, Fred, Lorelei, Mario, Mark, RJ, got a few others out there. You got some new names, which is great. Join us here today, and we expected probably we'll probably have around 20 to 30 people join us throughout, because some people weren't able to join in first thing in the morning, so they'll catch later on. But glad to have each and everybody here. Mario from Ontario, Canada, nice. Lorelei from New Jersey, there you go, the Garden State. Glad to have you all here this morning. Mark from Dallas, Texas, great stuff, DFW area. Awesome. All right, let's dive into session 2 and let's get this keg party started, shall we?